Why was I out at CBS? Because I reported a true story. The story I reported in September 2004 of President George W. Bush's dereliction of duty during Vietnam is true, and neither Bush himself nor anyone close to him, no family member, no confidant, no political ally, has ever denied it. I remain proud of reporting that truth, and proud of the many people who were part of that report. In retrospect, and with time to think about it, if shining a light on Bush's unexplained absence during his stint in the Texas Air National Guard was the story that got me pushed out of CBS, the first strong indication of trouble had come 4 months earlier, over a story I reported on 60 Minutes 2 in April 2004. As a journalist, my core principle, my duty, has always been to get to the truth. This, however, was a story nobody wanted to be true. The story of how some American military personnel were humiliating, abusing, and torturing Iraqi detainees at Abu Ghraib prison. The duties of a journalist, however, do not stop with uncovering the truth. Absent compelling reasons of national security, which is very different from political embarrassment, at least it should be, journalists also have a responsibility to inform the public about the truths they discover. And my determination to fulfill this obligation about Abu Ghraib became a very big problem, and I suspect a political embarrassment for the management of CBS and for its corporate parent, Viacom. At the height of the Iraq War, I was a frequent flyer to Baghdad. From the war's beginning in March 2003 to March 2004, I'd been there at least 4 times. On one of the early visits, I learned that the prison known as Abu Ghraib had been taken over by the U.S. Army. Refurbished and redubbed the Baghdad Central Correctional Facility, by the fall of 2003, it was being used to house those we had taken prisoner. The inmates were a mixed lot, some common criminals, some folks who were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and some considered to be high-value prisoners suspected of leading the insurgency or participating in terrorist activities. The name change didn't alter its reputation. Whatever you called it, Abu Ghraib was notorious. Under Saddam Hussein, it had been feared by all as a chamber of horrors, a gulag, if you will. Prisoners were maimed, raped, and tortured. Many were also murdered, or at least presumed murdered. After being incarcerated there, they had vanished without a trace. The prison was trashed and looted by the Iraqis themselves during our invasion. Americans who had seen the interior immediately after U.S. troops took Baghdad reported gruesome scenes of bodies mauled by dogs and electrodes coming out of the walls. Eventually, we would recover videotape shot by U.S. troops on the day they entered the prison. The tape showed squalor, filth, and an incredibly unsafe area for American soldiers to be living, but this is where they were housed while they worked to rebuild and reclaim the facility for use by the U.S. military. I had a more personal connection to Abu Ghraib as well. During the Gulf War in the early 1990s, Saddam's forces had captured one of our CBS correspondents, an outstanding journalist named Bob Simon. Bob and I have been friends and colleagues for more than 35 years. He is one of the best, most experienced foreign correspondents of his generation. A graduate of Brandeis University, he is brilliant, analytical, and a swift, sure writer. And he has guts. His bravery is legendary among his peers. He could have held his own with the Murrow Boys of World War II. Bob and I had been in many of the same bad datelines and tight places, often at the same time over the years. Vietnam, Lebanon, Gaza, the West Bank, Baghdad, and others. He is, as many of the best foreign correspondents are, a bit of a loner, but every inch a gentleman and a scholar. He's generous, compassionate, and friendly, loyal and protective of those who work with him and for him, especially camera crews, technicians, and producers in the field. But he leans toward being taciturn, doesn't always talk a lot, and stays to himself and within himself, more than most people in television news.